everyone, I am Miss Priyanka Sanjay Latte, working as lecturer at Mua Education Society's Muna Rural Institute of Pharmacy Sone. In this presentation, I am going to discuss topic that is inventory control, part 2nd. This topic we will discuss for second year D Pharmacy student. We will discuss content of presentation, review of slow and non-moving items, steps of review of slow and non-moving items, input-output ratio analysis, that is I/O ratio, setting of various levels, use of material budgeting, establishing an effective purchase procedure, scraps and scraples disposal. First point, we will discuss review of slow and non-moving items. Inventory is an important constituent of total cost, and as such a proper system of inventory control leads to a significant economy in the total cost of production. So, proper system must be enforced to detect and control slow moving items, obsolete items and dormant stock. In that first, slow moving materials are those items which are moving at a slow rate. Second, dormant materials are those items which are moving temporarily because of seasonal production. Third, obsolete items are those which have become useless due to change in design, method of manufacture, product or process, etc. The slow moving items are to be valued at cost, replacement price or net realizable value, whichever is less. Next point, steps of review of slow and non-moving items. First, periodic report. Second, obsolete items. Third, moving ratios. We will discuss one by one. First, periodic report. A monthly or quarterly report on the stocks of non-moving items is prepared, which indicates its purchase, consumption and balance in hand. These reports are given to the management. Second, obsolete items. Many of the slow and non-moving items may become useless with the passage of time. A well-designed information system has to be locate such obsolete items so that these can be utilized and their further purchase can be stopped. Third, moving ratio. In order to isolate slow-moving items, dormant and dead stock, moving ratios may be calculated periodically. These ratios show the turnover of these items for presentation to the management. Next point, input-output ratio analysis, that is I/O ratio. Input-output ratio is the relation between quantity of material charged to the production process and the quantity of material in the final output. For example, 2 kg of material is put in production process and the content of this material in the final product is 1.6 kg. So, input-output ratio is equal to 2 divided by 1.6 into 100 is equal to 125%, where 2 is equal to quantity of material used for production divided by 1.6 is equal to the quantity of final products into 100 is equal to 125%. Advantages of input-output ratio analysis. First, it determines the efficiency of the manufacturing department. Second, it helps in the comparison of actual consumption of material with the standard consumption. It indicates whether the use of material is favorable or unfavorable. Third, the cost of raw material in the finished product can be found out by multiplying the cost of raw material per unit by the input-output ratio. For example, a drug and pharmaceutical company uses chemical A as a raw material at rupees 100 per kilogram. The IO ratio is 125% due to non-availability of this raw material. Two other substituents are available as per the following information. Recommended which of the materials to be used. The information includes materials, rate per kilogram, IO ratio. In that first, the material A1 rate per kilogram at rupees 150 and IO ratio 110%. And second, material A2 rate per kilogram at rupees 120. IO ratio is 140%. Solution. Since the rate per kilogram and IO ratio vary in case of both the substituent, the final decision depends on the cost of each of the substituent in the finished products per unit. The cost of the raw material is equal to input divided by output into rates per unit in the finished products. The cost of raw material A1 is equal to 110 divided by 100 into 150 is equal to rupees 165 per kilogram, and second, A2 is equal to 140 divided by 100 into 120 is equal to rupees 168 per kilogram. Taking into consideration the cost of raw material, chemical A1 is recommended because it is more economical. A1 is more economical as compared to A2. Next point, setting of various levels. In order to minimum inventory control, it is important to decide upon various levels of materials. These are maximum level, minimum levels, and reorder level. These levels are not permanent but need revision due to change in the factors which determine these levels. First, maximum stock level. Maximum stock level represents the upper limit beyond which the quantity of any atom is normally allowed to rise. The maximum stock level a particular atom is fixed after considering the following points. First point, rate of consumption of material. Second, storage space available. Third, amount of capital needed and available. Fourth, nature of material. Fifth, market trade. Sixth, fashion habits. 7. Government restrictions. 8. Risk involved due to fire, obsolescence and deteriorations. 9. Lead time from the date of placing the order. The formula for computing maximum level is as follows. Maximum level is equal to reorder level plus reorder quantity minus minimum consumption. Minimum consumption is equal to minimum consumption per week into minimum reorder period. Second level, minimum stock level or safety stock. This is the lower limit below which the stock of any atom should not normally be allowed to fall. This is also known as buffer stock. The main purpose of determining this limit is to protect against the possibility of a particular atom going out of stock and there is further danger of stoppage of its production and supplies. This level is fixed taking into consideration following factors. First, average rate of consumption. Second, lead time. Lead time means it is the total time consumed between the recognitions of the need of an atom till the atom it is received as for use. Minimum level is equal to reorder level minus normal consumption per week into average delivery time or normal reorder period. Third level, reorder level. Reorder level is fixed between the minimum and maximum stock level. When stock of an inventory reaches at this point, the process for the purchase of material should be started. The reorder level is slightly more than minimum stock level to guard against first abnormal use of item, second abnormal delay in supply. The formula for calculating the reorder level is reorder level is equal to minimum consumption during the period into maximum reorder period. Fourth level, danger level. This is generally below the minimum stock level. Normal stock level should never be allowed to fall below the minimum level. If it is reaches the danger level at any point of time, urgent action must be taken to prevent stock out. Danger level can be calculated with the help of following formula. Danger level is equal to average rate of consumption into emergency supply time. Next point, use of material budgeting. In this method, purchase budget of both the whole and the individual item is prepared. During the preparation of material budget, the following factors are to be considered. First, increase or decrease in the sales of the previous month in comparison with the corresponding monthly sales in the previous year. Second, adjustment of overbuying and underbuying during the previous month. When any purchase is made, it is subtracted from the balance of the purchase budget maintained in the separate purchase journal. In this way, the person concerned in a purchase of inventory will come to know whether he is buying too much or too little by referring to purchase budget. Next point, establishing an effective purchase procedure. The purchase procedure means the sequence of steps in which a purchase transaction is carried out. The purchase procedure starts with the recognitions or realizations of the need of an item. The need is written in the requisition form. The sources are identified and the appropriate suppliers is selected, a result of mutual negotiations. The order is placed with the selected supplier. The goods are received and then thoroughly checked. Invoice is checked and payment is made. The purchase transaction is recorded. Keeping a proper record is very advantageous because advantages. First, it acts as a guide for future action. Second, it provides authentic records about the inventory which is needed for the inventory control. Third, the purchase order is a legal document which helps in case of any legal problems. Fourth, in certain business, purchase manuals are prepared. In general, Every business organization prepares its own purchasing manuals, which prescribes the purchase policies and procedures. The purchase policies differ from company to company because these are from keeping in view of objective of the company. Good purchase policies and inventory controls are interlinked with each other. Therefore, such purchasing policies are to be purchased which are effective in controlling the inventories. Next point, scraps and scraples disposal. Definition of scraps. Scraps is an occasional residue obtained from various manufacturing processes. Examples of scraps: first, spoiled raw materials; second, rejected components; third, defective materials; fourth, non-usable parts and equipments; fifth, waste from production department; sixth, non-usable packing materials. Next point, classification or types of scrap. First, legitimate scraps. The scraps which can be predetermined in advance due to manufacturing operations. For example, granules or powders remaining after manufacturing process. Second, administrative scrap. It is the scrap material arising from change policies of administrations about formulations, packaging, labeling, etc. Third, defective scraps. These scraps results from substandard raw materials and poor skill in workers handling such materials and equipments. Next point, control of scrap. First, careful designing of products. Second, use of good quality raw materials and equipments. Third, skilled workers should be appointed. Fourth, using standard operating procedures. Next point, disposal of scrap. First, it can be sold to other organizations at cheaper prices. Second, it can be recycled into useful material for subsequent production of basic products. Third, grade the materials. It gives good return in terms of money. Fourth, tenders are invited if quantity of scraps is large. Next point, scraples. Definition of scraples. The scraples atoms are those which are the excess atoms than reasonable requirements. Examples: first, rejected components; second, defective parts; third, expiry items; fourth, dead stock items. Next point, causes of scrapers. First, scrapers may also arise due to fall in sale of particular product. Second, scrapers may arise due to some problems in production. Third, scrapers may arise due to unwanted purchase mistake. Fourth, scrapers may arise due to purchasing in bulk due to lower prices of materials. Next point, disposal of scrapers. In that first, scrapers should be disposed of by returning the material to the supplier by replacing it with the other required material. Second, scrapers can also be disposed by calling tenders if the quantity is very large. Third, scrapers can also be disposed of by negotiations to other consumers of same items. And fourth, disposal of scrapers releases space. Thank you.